What happens without Zelko Bradovic? What happens without Ettore Messina? And what happens without Frankie Sax? Let's find out in the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge podcast. Hello and welcome to the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge podcast. My name is Javier Gancedo and I'm here with my co-host Basiliki Karamusa. Basiliki, how are you?
Hello, Javi. I'm good. How are you?
Aren't we missing somebody?
Yes, I don't know if we have all the answers to your first questions, but we have the answer about Frankie. He's not here with us today, but he's always in our heart. So he will make fun of us from afar this week, hopefully in the comments.
Yeah, well, he had a really poor score this week, so maybe that's why he's hiding. We'll see. We'll find out next week when he's back. So
I wanted to hide as well because apparently whatever I say turns out to be completely wrong. And I promised people on our Instagram page that I won't be talking much in this episode, but it's just you and me, so it's unavoidable.
Okay, somebody from Greece who did really well, but let's find out in the round recap.
Well, yes, apparently someone from Greece is still nailing the Fantasy Challenge podcast. It's George Fergadakis with 225.5 fantasy points. Congratulations, George. Keep smashing it. And we have other winners, losers, and questions from round 13, even though we had some national team games in the in-between. So we might forgot a little bit about the EuroLeague action. Here we don't.
Well, let me say that it's a really tricky week because of this. We don't know exactly what's the status of injuries. Like we usually follow the process of the Fantasy Challenge is to follow these teams in domestic competition, see who played well, and that gives you a little bit of a clue on who is in top shape. But we don't have this week. We're kind of blind, so we'll see. Any winners from round 13? Anybody that you want to highlight?
Yeah, for the winner, I would go with Kendrick Nunn. He was the co-MVP of the round, along with Savon Shields. He had his best game this season. He got fire in the third quarter against Partizan, so as the whole Panathinaikos squad. And I think we will start seeing more of these appearances from Kendrick from now on. What about you?
I liked Jordan Nwora of Cervenes Vesta Meridian Bet Belgrade. He's had a fantastic start of the week, and then he was stopped because of an injury, and now he's getting in shape again. And he had a PAR of 23, and with 23 points in just 25 minutes. So they're gonna play Barcelona next round. So I really like his chances. I gotta tell that it was my first option to sign him this week. So we have to talk about losers. I don't want to blame it on the Boogie, but Boogie Ellis had a really rough round for Dubai. He had a -3. His team got the win, but it was McKinley Wright, the fourth, who actually had a really good game. Ellis got early foul trouble and disappeared from the game. But does it mean that Boogie Ellis won't play well in the next rounds? Of course not. But right now, I would try to stay away because of what happened. Basiliki, any losers of last round? I have an idea.
Everybody has an idea,
Yeah.
even though he wasn't on my squad. It was on Frankie's squad, though. Nick Weiler-Babb. I said I was jealous of that pick because I thought he could do something great, but he had a -11 against Monaco. Very bad loss for FS in general. A loss that cost Gorko Koskov his place on FS bench after a few poor results. I think that was the worst that could happen at that time. Nick Weiler-Babb had probably his worst game of his career in EuroLeague. So
I have to say something, which is there's a very funny meme on Instagram about Nick Weiler-Babb getting -10, and you saying that you really wanted him to be in your team.
Yeah,
I have to admit it was my idea. I wanted to make fun of you too, so I couldn't resist it. When I saw -10, and I remember what you talked about, it was like, oh god damn, this is my chance to make some fun of you guys. So.
I thought it was the guy from the social media, the admins of the EuroLeague, but it was you. Shame on you.
No, I didn't do. It was Leo who actually did it. But anyway, question marks. I'll let you go first. Who would you say? Well, it's a little bit of a risk.
I don't know what to get out of Theo Maledon in Real Madrid. One game he's great, the next game he has a 2-3 PIR, which is not very normal, but I understand he's still in some kind of a transitional period because coming from Asvel to Real Madrid is a big of a leap. So maybe it's not wise to have Maledon on your team right now because you don't know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, I get you. The same happens with me with Moses Wright. He had a really good start of the season. I think everybody had him on. He was one of the most popular players in the game, but now he's been, well, having single-digit PAR games. Even when they will look favorable, they beat Baskonia before the break, and it looked like it was going to be a good game for him. But it was Francisco, who we'll talk about Silven later, but he's been amazing. I don't know what to get out of him. So he's not. He was like, let's say, one of the most solid players, one of the must-have players in the game, but probably not anymore. But at the same time, I know he will play well at some point. So it's hard to predict. Anyway, let's go with some fantasy news.
Yes, we had some pretty breaking news last week. Two of the most decorated European coaches are now gone. First, it was Ettore Messina, who resigned from Armani Milan. We know it was his last year on Armani's bench and that Pepe Poeta was there to succeed him, but that happened way before we all thought it would happen. And then we had Zeljko Obradovic resigning from Partizan, which was unbelievable. But if you saw him in the press conference after the loss against Panathinaikos, you understood he was devastated. I've never seen him like that before.
Never.
And I think whole Europe is still in shock with what happened. Partizan fans were by thousands in the airport to greet him back and hopefully reconvince him. But no, that didn't happen.
Here's a fun fact about Obradovic and Messina. They combined for 13 EuroLeague titles. Now, Obradovic has 9 and Messina has 4. But Messina lost 3 finals against Panathinaikos. If he had won these 3 finals, it would be 7-6 for Messina. But these are 2 coaches that made the EuroLeague what it is right now, and it's really hard to imagine the league without both of them. So
yeah.
But now let's see. Poeta has done really well the time that he's been running the team. Josh Nebo is back. Shavon Shields is playing fantastic, and all of a sudden, Milano is a really hot fantasy team, right?
Yeah, I think we've talked about Queen Ellis before. We talked about Bolmaro. Now the bigs, Nebo, Orlide, Shields was co-MVP last week. I think there's a lot of potential fantasy-wise there. And, this change brought a new, new energy in the team. So I don't know.
And as of Partizan, we're going to stay quiet because we don't know who is going to replace Obradovic. So there are rumors about this and that, but I don't want to anticipate anything because what we say here on Monday could be all news by Thursday when you watch this. So we'll stay away from Partizan so far, but we'll talk about Nando De Colo. What happened with De Colo, Vasiliki?
He started the season pretty great, had an injury that cost him like 2-3 weeks out of action, but now he's back and he's as great as he was before. I think he has in the back of his mind that this is his last season and he's giving it his all every game. So what we see is unbelievable.
Yeah, and as always, deadly from the free throw line, 100% all season. And I think he's the all-time leader with over 94% from free throws. It's unbelievable. I think he's the best free throw shooter in the history of the game, which is it's nobody took so many shots and made so many with such percentage. I asked him once, and he said that it's okay to think about stuff about the game and everything, but you have to have a really clear routine, like do exactly the same move to take the shot, and that guarantees that you'll make it if you're good enough. And practice a lot. But I've been trying to do that, and I tell you, my percentage is way below 94%. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It's not really a surprise, but okay.
So, Vasiliki, before we move on to next games, any takeaways from round 13?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys who could we could talk about first and foremost your favorite, Silven Francisco, right?
Yeah, MVP of the season so far for me.
Yeah,
But
MVP of October.
and he had 33 and 11 assists 2 weeks ago. He had 23 and 11 assists last week against Baskonia. He's on fire. He's the best
Yeah.
fantasy player right now, and everybody should try to make an effort to include him. But still, I'm hanging out to Vezenkov because he's my guy. So what can I do about it? But I really recommend everybody to make a move for Francisco because he's been unstoppable. Any other player you want to highlight?
Kevin Pander, maybe.
Mm.
Nicola Brovitola is out again, so that means more responsibilities for Panther. A new coach, a shift there in the energy too. And Barcelona, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I think he's finding his range and not taking that too many 3-point shots, taking a lot of mid-range shots, playing more aggressive. There's a lot of players who, let's say, got a new life with Chai Pascual. Miles Kane, in particular, he was really good the other day. But Panther should be the leader of the team, and he's proving it. We talked about Shamon Shields. I want to highlight two players in Belgrade. One is Sterling Brown, who has to step up, I think, given the situation in Partizan. And the other is Semi Ojelai, who has been doing really well lately, right?
Yes, I saw him in the game against Olympiacos. He can play the 5, but he runs the court like he's a forward. So that makes him a little bit dangerous. He had 3 very crucial 3-pointers, and he cost under 10 credits, which is great. And he has been averaging almost 13 fantasy points in the last 5 games. So that's more than he costs. I think it's a pretty solid choice right now.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next games then.
Yes. So we have French derby, Monaco against Paris, even though TJ Short is off the team right now. Nadir Hifi is there and he will fight against Mike James. And also we have Olympiacos against Fenerbahce here in Piraeus. That's always fascinating. Any other games you're looking forward to?
Well, Olympiacos Fenerbahce is 2 Final Four teams in the last 2 years, so that's going to be a good game for sure. Fenerbahce is in a 5-game winning streak, but most of those wins were at home, so let's see what they have on the road in a very tough court like Sef. I like Žalgiris against Maccabi, maybe for sentimental reasons. I think that the best game in EuroLeague history was a top 16 game between these two teams that Derek Sharp hit a crazy 3-point shot to take the game to overtime and then win the game, go to the Final Four, and win the first of 2 EuroLeague titles. Without that shot, nothing of this happens. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I like to see how Silva Francisco can do against Lonnie Walker coming back to Kaunas. It's a shame that Frankie isn't around, but he would love to talk about Lonnie Walker right now.
Yeah, it's his guy. We all know that. So I think he will have something to say about it next week.
Yeah, it's a little bit, let's say Monaco, Paris, and Žalgiris Maccabi are a little bit of guard games, like Mike James and Nadir Ifi and Francisco and Tamir Blatt and Lonnie Walker. But Olympiacos against Fenerbahce is very unpredictable, and I like that. Is breaking down the game is going to be really interesting, and seeing how Bonsi Constant can play defense against Bezenkov, that's gonna be special. So, well, we should move on and talk about our trades, what we did, and which captains we chose, which coaches we chose. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Let's do it. Right, so I got 144 points and won the round 13. I mean, between the three of us. Now you're ahead of me for less than a point. And Frankie got 103 points and is at the bottom of our standings. And if he doesn't, wake up a little bit, he's going to be far behind in round 20. Frankie, you can do better than this. Don't worry, you will bounce back, I'm sure. But let's talk about trades. Vasiliki, you go first. Which trades did you make?
Well, the race is getting hotter, so I need to step up too, because you're getting closer and closer to me. I have to give up all the slip ups that I have been doing the past few weeks. And earlier on in the show, you said we should all go and get Silven Francisco, and that's exactly what I did. I hope I don't ruin him as well, as everybody else I have been talking about lately. And I also got, of course, Sasha Vezenkov back because it's always a mistake to let Sasha go. And I've learned it the hard way twice this year already. So Sasa is back as well. And in order for that to happen, I had to give up Jan Vesely, my second center, because I couldn't afford everybody. I went to get Bastier from Asvel. I'm not exactly sure how that will play out, but we will see. I feel better though with Francisco and Vezenkov on my team.
Well, that's two superstars. We'll talk about it later. Let me show you my trades first, and then we'll discuss at the end of our presentation, let's say. So I only made 3 trades because I'm keeping it just in case I'm not convinced on the coaching move Partizan is going to make. So I may change my coach at some point and well, use the 4th trade. But when it comes to players, just 2. Teo Maledon and Pokusevski are out, and I got Jordan Nuera, my first choice, and then I got Matt Morgan, who has been playing really well for Virtus lately. They play at home against Dubai. I expect a high-scoring game, and that's why I put Morgan. So that's how it goes. Let's talk about captains. Who do you have as a captain?
So most of my players, and especially the pricey ones, play on turn 1. So I had to make a difficult decision. I think I will go with Silven Francisco. I spent too much credit to get him on my team, and I hope I can get the most out of it. So I will go with the French point guard of Zalgiris. And for turn 2, the only very solid option that I have is Costas Lucas, which is not bad, obviously. And he has been having great games so far. I hope the streak will continue. So if I need to change my captain, it will be Lucas. What about you?
So Francisco or Vezenkov, huh? Sasha,
I'm not sure yet.
Sasha, do
Stop
it again.
doing that.
Do it again, please. Do it again. No, of course I have.
Stop doing that all the time.
So I have Vezenkov as captain, and now that you said this, even better. I mean, Vezenkov is a solid choice. It is what it is, you know. It's every time you do something even small against Vezenkov, he takes sports revenge. So that's it. And for turn 2, in case Vezenkov doesn't have a good game, which he will anyway, I'm putting Jordan Nuera. That's my second choice of captain, the best player I have on the bench. So let's see.
I will change my captains last minute. So Sasha will think he's not my captain, and then he will be.
Okay, that's cool. Coaches, I'll go first if you want. But
yeah, for sure.
Right now, I have Dusko Ivanovic. Like I said, Virtus is really strong at home. He's only 4.7 credits for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm having Ivanovic. What I want to do with the coach is, if I change my mind, I would put another one, and then trade Jordan Nuera for Ojelai and Ivanovic for Dimitris Itudis. But I think I'm gonna keep Ivanovic, so that's why I put Ivanovic here. What about you?
Itudis was my first choice, my first option as well, but he was too expensive, and I couldn't manage to squeeze him in with both Sasa and Silven. So that was impossible. So I went with Pepe Poeta, the newest EuroLeague head coach, new coach of Armani Milan. Armani is playing against Baskonia. We've seen Baskonia is not that strong this year, so I'm hoping I have a positive score. I don't expect a blowout game necessarily, but I will be happy with 10 points from my coach.
So yeah, we saw your trades, we saw your captains, we saw your coaches, but can you break down your team a little bit so that I can analyze it a little bit later?
Yeah, so my main center is Nicola Milutino for quite some time now, and he's not going anywhere. He has been rock solid for my team and for Olympiacos as well. I have Sorkin alongside with Vezenkov. I have Tarek Viperovic and Seb Barrera as medium budget choices. I have Francisco and Slucas, as I already talked about. Samodurov at the end of my bench, cheap player. Vautier is my gamble this week, but I couldn't do anything better than that. So we will see.
All right. Well, my turn, right?
Yes.
Let me tell you a little bit what I have in mind, which is having I think it's 5 players over 10 credits, 2 players in the range of 9 and 8, and then a lot of cheaper players who all play in turn one in case they play well. So for turn one, I have Herrera, Rayman, and Biberovic, along with Vezenkov and Milutinov. I mean, if one of these cheap players plays well, that's gonna solve my situation. But if not, then I have a really deep bench with my Kinley Wright, who was a last-minute addition last week, and he was fantastic. Kenneth Farid, Matt Morgan, Jordan Nuora, and Quinn Ellis. So if, let's say, the turn one players play really well, especially Rainman, Biberovic, and Herrera, I'll be fine. But I really trust everybody else. So I think I'm gonna have a good week. So
No, Tarek had two pretty solid games with Turkey. So maybe that will boost his confidence in the game against Olympiacos. And we have to keep an eye on Alex Avramovic because that might affect McKinley Wright.
Yeah, true. We'll see. Well, the one thing I don't like about your team is that you don't have enough, let's say, over 10 credit players. But I mean, still, you have more money and more credits than I have, so I'm not gonna complain. I'll do my best with what I have, and I really think that Bezenkov and Milutinov should have a good game against Fenerbahce if they want to win. So we'll see.
I hope so too.
All right, so it's time to move on to Frankie's favorite part of the show.
Yes, get future, get rewarded.
So, get featured, get rewarded. We have a winner for November. You remember there were prizes. Not only we answer your questions, but you also get some prize. And H. Mortis is our November winner, and he won a 1-year subscription to EuroLeague TV. Congratulations! If you didn't win, just scan the QR code here in the screen, and then just send us your ball predictions, your questions for us, anything you want. And if you get lucky, you'll be on the show, and then you'll have a chance to be one of our winners. And Vasiliki, believe it or not, I have a question for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It comes from Vytenis Kalauskis from Lithuania. He said, Vasiliki, what happened? Why did you have T2 captain Vasily during T1 and then some T1 guys on the bench when some T guys were starters? What happened?
I'm not sure exactly about the situation that our fellow listener, viewer, EuroLeague fan is referring to, but I think I forgot to change my captain once, but it wasn't with Vasily.
Yeah, Vytenis went to your team in the game, looked for you, and checked your team.
And checked my team. But
yeah, that's dedication right there.
Yeah, I always make mistakes, so it's no wonder. But okay, I don't know. But I didn't have Vasily as my captain, I think. I remember specifically I wanted to have Milutinov, but I forgot to change my captain, and I was left with Trey Lyles. I don't remember what's the situation.
It was worse for me in the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge one week that I had Jared Harper, who had a 40 on the bench, and I had Niang's brother in Trento, who had a minus 4.5. So I lost around something like 90 points in the move. So
wow,
yeah,
that's a lot. But when your captain is getting twice his points, that's what you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you have anything for me?
Well, I do have a bold prediction for you. Also coming from Lithuania, Laurinas Grusnis wants your opinion about Kevin Pander and Barcelona. So Laurina says that Kevin Pander will average more than 20 fantasy points in the next 5 games, and Barca will win 4 out of these 5 games. What do you think?
It's tough. I think he's going to have a very good game against Zvezda. Being a former Partizan fan, he also played for Zvezda, but not he wasn't that remarkable as he was in Partizan. If I remember correctly, Barca plays against Olympiacos. I know that because Sasha will be in town, and I'm going to try to see him.
And talk bad about me?
No. We'd never do that. Never. We don't talk bad about people. What are you talking about? And then they play Fenerbahce at some point. So I would say they won't get 4-1. They're going to be something like 3-2 or something. And Panther will be around that average, but I'm going to say below also.
Below?
Yeah. I mean, you answer to a bold prediction with another bold prediction, right?
Yeah, so that's true.
Yeah, that's the way you go. So that's all we have right now, right? Vasiliki, any famous last words?
No, but people can certainly reach out to us with questions, bold predictions, dilemmas, whatever they want. We are always here to answer, especially you and Frankie, who go to the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be answering questions right here, down here in YouTube. And well, that's all for today. Like the podcast, share the podcast, try to listen to every audio platforms also if you can. And we'll see you next week here in the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge podcast. Bye.